All right, my friends, I'm going to give you this again. Everybody's going crazy today. The news is saying Trump is planning on being indicted Tuesday, and he's going to turn himself in. And what does this mean? And you can see let's step back from this and remove Trump from this narrative, if that's possible, and look at this as an American citizen charged with following the Constitution. Number one, considerations. Lawyer to you, my friend. Number one, if Trump was my brother, my father, me, I want the best legal counsel there is who doesn't want to be a media star. Let me say this again. I want Mr. Peepers, so to speak. I want the most camera-shy individual, not trying to make a name for himself, not trying to feed some huge ego. I want somebody who wants to go in and do the job. Somebody who goes in and just says to Alvin Bragg, now listen, I'm not going to do anything to make you look bad. And you're not going to do anything to make me look bad. Do we understand this? Okay? Because believe it or not, and you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, Alvin Bragg is thinking, oh God, no. Because this case looks to be a misdemeanor. And the only way they're going to prove a felony, forget the indictment, we'll get to that in a moment, is if they can show that he did this bookkeeping, whatever, to hide some other crime. What? The statute of limitations may have already lapsed. If it's a misdemeanor, oh God, and if you're stuck with a felony, is it 5 years? Is it 6? When did it happen? When was the last day the commission of this? And what exactly was he trying to hide again? What exactly was this thing he was trying to cover up? I don't understand. Maybe you can help me with this. Imagine you're the jury. And the jury said, well, what was it exactly? And at best they can say, well, maybe there was some type of a financial, some election legerdemain or some type of, where he tried to cover something up because it really was an in-kind contribution. When you start talking like that, juries go to sleep. Now, let's assume it's a Manhattan jury. They're going to hate Trump. I understand this. But juries have a funny way of when they get involved in this, they sit back and they say, you know what? This isn't right. And you're going to, and you may not understand this, and you may not think this. But when people see Trump brought in, the President of the United States, which you are always, even though you're not the current one, handcuffed? Handcuffed? Is there going to be a mugshot? Is that mugshot? Is that going to be the new T-shirt? Is that going to be the new meme? Is that what you're going to do? You do this. And you may, irrespective of this trial, this changes everything. And if I were DeSantis or the GOP, I would think, this is not good for us. Because a lot of people would say, whoa, wait a minute, hold it. I mean, yeah, Trump did, okay, the impeachment, okay, whatever. But now it's criminal. And people understand that. And the next thing you're going to have to do is, and I just want to say something, unsolicited, if you are a counsel for President Trump, don't go on TV. Be quiet. You're not going to help anything. Nobody wants to hear anything you have to say. Nothing. Just keep it down low, quiet. Is that the wrong? That's not the right expression, but you know what I mean. Do not use this as a platform for posturing. Don't do this. James LaRosa, this was a fellow who represented Paul Castellano. He was wonderful. Quiet. He came in, he did his thing, he went home, and that was it. Okay? This is not for TV shows. Okay? Because a lot of people still, they love the warm glow of the Klieg. They love that, okay? Next, To you, President Trump, I ask you this. Sir, he likes when you say that. Sir, do not even insinuate protest. Don't even hint. Nothing. Don't in a tweet, in a conversation. And you too, Don Jr., I know how you get. Do not do this. Because I've told you a million times, that January 6th stuff is not necessarily over with. And there's this seditious conspiracy. Oh, that is so broad. Oh, God. Don't say anything. Don't even say respect the law. Don't even bring up the subject of law and order or causing disorder. Well, why would you do that? Don't do that. Now, don't expect anybody, any place, to understand the tragedy of seeing a former president, perhaps, and listen, they most probably, it seems like, they said to him, listen, Tuesday, the rumors have it, they're reporting that they're getting with Secret Service and all this. I mean, do you really have to do this? Do you really have to have him turn himself in? They've had arraignments in hospital rooms. A judge can go anywhere. You don't need to. Do you really need to do this? Of course you do. Of course you do. Now, I'm sure Alvin Bragg is a fine man. I'm sure he's a reputable officer of the court and a great prosecutor. Be careful, Mr. Bragg. Don't let them use you and promises of whatever it is for their own transitory, temporal, political. Your job as a prosecutor from one to another is justice, not a conviction, justice. To do the right thing. You represent the good people of the county of Manhattan, really. That's what you really are doing. And it's going to be tough for you because remember, this is a little background information here. Aside from the statute of limitations, there's also this issue of, is this a state charge? Why aren't the feds picking up the fact that the feds are saying, no. And you're going to get Dusty Saddles or whatever her name is and Cohen. Are they going to appear? Oh, dear God. State your name for the record. Storm. Do they call you Stormy Daniels? Yeah. What exactly? I'm doing my John Kennedy voice. What exactly do you do? Have you ever been in any films? Yeah. Do you mind if I read the names of some of the films you've been in? You're the chief witness. Do you mind if I read your filmography? Any children might want to leave the room here. And Mr. Cohen, were you ever convicted? You were convicted of a crime, right? Of lying, and you're what? So this is their lead. This is Alvin Bragg's. His witness list. So a couple of things could happen. Number one, if they come back with a misdemeanor, it's over with. This is the indictment. and to indict a former president on a misdemeanor. Yeah. Remember, grand juries, what do? They have probable cause. They determine if there's probable cause. Probable cause to return a true bill. And what is probable cause? Best example I ever heard, best definition was he probably did it. Okay. Very low burden, very low threshold. So you're going to come back with a misdemeanor? And if so, it may be barred by the statute of limitations. If it's a felony, thus allowing for a longer statute of limitation, you've got a heavier burden because now you've got to prove that this bookkeeping hocus pocus or whatever you allege is to hide another crime. What crime? NDAs are not against the law. Trying to keep your own sexual misdeeds as alleged is not against the law. It's done all the time. So this case, at its best, is a dog. A dog. And I know there's going to be people who are just going to love this. People like Rob Reiner. That's important, I realize that, but the left contingent, oh, they're going to love this. That's not the way we do it in this country. It's not the way we do it in this country. No, 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 no. So, let us see what happens. But get ready. Remember this. This is not a legal issue here, but this is a political issue here, a political question, a political whatever. Whatever his status is now, President Trump, whatever it is, you are going to create and you never want this, a kind of like okay, that's enough. This is unfair. You don't want that. Because as Elon Musk said, he will be unbeatable in 2024. The man, the phoenix who rose from the ashes, this impenetrable, he's like the Terminator. They tried everything. They're not getting him on January 6th. They're not getting him on any kind of a voter repeal denial thing. No, this. By the way, this doesn't mean his problems are over with because you've got that Georgia business. But for the time being, this. And Alvin Bragg had this case at first, and then he brought life back into it after he was hectored into it. Ask Cy Vance, his predecessor. What happened with you? Ooh, because the case stinks. Prosecutors want big, win big. And do you think the chance of any kind of jail on this? Well, I don't even want to go that far. But it's just, you like most people, are expecting some adult to come in and say, okay, that's enough. Break this up. This is not. Meanwhile, people who abuse children, people who are involved in some of the most heinous acts of predation and human trafficking, nothing happens to them. But Donald Trump, for a misdemeanor? No. Okay, do me a favor. I want you to like this video if you like it. I mean, even if you don't like it, I want you to like it. I want you to subscribe to the channel. Send this to other people. And whatever you do, I'm counting for you to comment as you see fit.